Hi, I'm here to just give you a quick introduction to Pillar to Post so that you can understand how we are different than all the other home inspection franchises out there. Gonna start off with this picture I'm showing. A lot of people thought before I put a title on it that this might be the Pillar to Post staff. This is one of our 450 franchisees. That's the Fredericks team over in St. Louis. That's one of the things that's different about us. So let me tell you more. High level overview on Pillar to Post. So, in terms of an introduction to us, we're a home inspection company. We train people how to build big businesses. So the home inspections we do are for people who are buying homes. Most people have gone through that process and are somewhat familiar. We're part of a larger company called First Service Brands. They own Pillar to Post, CertaPro Painter, California Closets, Paul Davis Restoration, and also Floor Coverings International. We get a lot of our culture, our strategy, the goal being to be number one in our segment, and we are. So we get a lot of our strength from First Service Brands. We've been in business for 30 years. Our CEO, who's based in Raleigh, North Carolina, is an ex-franchisee of 11 years. He's been on the executive team for 15 years. Really great guy, is guiding our company. We're 450 franchisees strong with getting close to 800 inspectors. So many of our franchisees have businesses like that first one that I showed you with employees. And that's really what we're focused on in our company is helping people grow big businesses. We're a leader in the industry by really any measure. By size, we're twice as big as most other franchise systems, sometimes even 3 times the size. Our franchisees make more money on average. We're doing things innovation-wise, technology-wise in the home inspection industry that no one is doing. I'd love to show you some of that, so schedule some time with me later. An industry overview. What's great about this industry is it's stable, right? Real estate is always selling. Even in the last few years, it's been a little slower than normal, but still 4 million homes were sold. And that dollar should be taken off. It's actually 4 million homes, not dollars worth of homes. It's in the billions, dollars wise. And in a normal year, it's about 5 million. So we are still growing. We are taking market share. We're actually doing better than the market. And so real estate overall is a stable industry, right? It's tied to the river of life. People have babies, they get a bigger house. When they're older, they downsize. When they divorce, there's some house changes. When they take a job, there's a house change. Its life doesn't stop, so real estate doesn't. This business has no inventory to worry about. There's no perishables, no technology that's going to go out of style. It's a cash business, so they're not chasing accounts receivable. There's no brick and mortar needed. It's home based. It's recession resistant because this is a need versus a want, right? 90% of people who are buying houses get an inspection. It's recession resistant, therefore. So reoccurring revenue is another great aspect. So we target busy professional realtors, those that are selling 20, 50, 100, 200 houses a year, and those bring in steady work over time. And we see market fluctuations, even this somewhat down market, as opportunities because we're more strategic, we're more business savvy, than the average inspector. We, have strategies for even in a challenging time to grow. Oh, let's see. There we go. Candidate requirements. So they need 150K liquid. They're gonna spend about 100K of that in their first, couple months to get the business started. Of course, that 100K also includes our franchise fee, which is 58.5. Plus, we also want to make sure that they have a way to pay their bills for their first year. And so what do they need the extra 50 for in that liquid? Because they're going to hire in their first year. We want them to start to grow. Even if it's a part-time hire, that allows them to continue to grow instead of stalling. We've got a nice discount for veterans. I'd say roughly 30% of our franchisees are veterans. They tend to do really well. they're going to hire early. As I say, scaling is really important in this business. It gives you a competitive advantage. We're looking for people with the $1 million mindset that want to grow a big business, business-minded, willingness to sell, the ability to go out and do network marketing to realtors to get business in, and that takes some self-confidence. They do not have to inspect, so if they're worried about having to get up on roofs and crawl spaces, that's why they're going to be hiring inspectors. This is, however, 100% full-time. It's not semi-passive or semi-absentee in any way, shape, or form, but they could work into that, right? But it's going to take them a few years to get there. A target model on on $1 million grossing business, which this is the visual on that, right? Here's an owner. This guy's also an inspector. He's got a couple more inspectors, and he's got somebody helping with marketing and the phones. So it's about 4.5, 5 inspectors doing 1,500 jobs a year. And off that million gross, you've got your expenses of 35% in labor with a net target of 30%. That can be built in 4 or 5 years. The current record's 4.5 years. We've got great validation, a robust item 19. I can help them build, their pro forma. So we do things differently. Here's another business. This one is in Orlando. Again, this is well over $1 million. He's got 6 inspectors. So we help people build an empire. We're part of FirstService Brands, which means we measure things and improve. We want to be number one in our segment. So currently we have a 96% satisfaction rate with home buyers and 97% satisfaction rate with realtors. We're very proud of that. We're not this single owner operator model as depicted here. We own our own software, and that allows us to have a differentiated product, a differentiated experience, easy to work with. Our territories are very large for scalability, so they're not going to have to be buying additional territories to have this very large business. Again, just to reiterate, we are all about helping people build bigger businesses. We've got all the systems, the training, the coaching, the support, everything they need, and it's ongoing. It doesn't stop, right? Because they're going to be scaling. I've got a slide in here that actually depicts that, right? So it isn't train them and then they're on their own. You've got to continue to train people. We've got coaches always assigned to everybody, and we've got all the systems, free employee training to help them grow, everything that they need. This I already talked about a little bit, but we measure everything, right? We've got a 96% customer satisfaction rate. We amplify that. So we've got a company that helps us get loads of 5-star reviews. So we get those reviews, we turn them into the 5 stars, which is legal, and then we ask for more Google and Facebook reviews. So our franchisees, have really great reviews all over their Google, Facebook, and their website. And if you think about it, this, which is essentially a 5-star review, is a reflection of everything at Pillar to Post: our products, our service, our ease, our training, our coaching. It's all of that. So best in class. And I mentioned we do things differently in terms of our product, right? We're doing things that no one else is doing, and we can do that because we own our own software. We own our own call center. So we also developed an online booking center. So we make it easy to book anytime, 24/7. People can book an inspection with us. Realtors can keep that transaction moving. We give the report right there on site, no waiting. Typical competitor, 2 to 3 days later, we do it right on site. 24 hours later, they can get a 360 tour with the inspection embedded in it. They can get measured floor plans of their house for figuring out furniture, maybe getting estimates for flooring and painting. The repairs that we find, we give them an estimate within 24 hours of the cost of those repairs. They also get a manual with all the manuals for the appliances and the HVAC, etc. And it also checks for any safety recalls. We also have a company that welcomes them, congratulates them on, closing on their house, and will help set up all their utilities, all for free. And this is not just something we just did. This is who we are over the past 30 years. We've got a roadmap of new product and features because you want to help people get into a business that has a great future, not only today, but and then has a history of innovation, because that's going to predict the future as well, right? And so that's who we are, our innovators. And then lastly, territories are very large. This is just an example. I'm happy to talk with you about your particular candidate's territory, but they're very large. This is 32,000 home sales, which is, $18 million worth of inspections are being done in the greater Jacksonville area. Territories are large, and wanted to spend just another minute on that so that they're protected. There's territories further south. Franchisees from further south can't come into this territory to market. And this franchisee can't go out of their market to market to realtors. But they are shared because there's so much business here. We usually need more than one franchisee. So, but we do close them, right? If we have franchisees that are growing like they ought to be, then we do close some territories. But probably about 95% of your territory checks will be available. Another franchise group up in Olympia. So give me a call anytime. Set up a 15-minute, just reach out. I'll set up a 15-minute and we can discuss your candidate. Would love to help you get our very generous commission structure. Thanks.